Hey friends, Gary here. Every new year, new cameras always pop up in the market, promising better image quality, faster autofocus, more megapixel, more low light performance, more this and more that. However, in 2025, I keep coming back to Micro Four Thirds camera system. Yes, the one with the smaller sensor. Well, it's not because Micro Four Thirds is trendy or sexy. Well, it kinda is sexy when I look at it right now. But that's not the point. I kept coming back to Micro Four Thirds because it solves problems that most photographers don't even realize they have. What? So in today's video, I'm going to share why I still love to use Micro Four Thirds camera system and why we all should consider using Micro Four Thirds, especially if we haven't used it before. Hopefully this video can give you some insight on the benefits of using Micro Four Thirds camera system, and hopefully it will be able to improve your photography experience. Anyway, quick disclaimer, nobody's asking me to make this video today, nobody's paying me to say anything, I'm not sponsored by anyone. However, if you truly enjoy my video, please consider giving it a like, share my videos, and subscribe to my channel down below. And if you really want to support my channel, please consider becoming a member on my Patreon with the link right here. It is patreon.com/Gary_W. For members, you will get exclusive benefits such as being able to download high-res pictures that I captured myself using Micro Four Thirds cameras and lenses, be able to participate in future Q&A sessions, and also access to Patreon-only contents. Anyway, let's continue with today's video. First reason is because Micro Four Thirds cures me of gear acquisition syndrome or GAS. Micro Four Thirds makes me realize that I don't need the latest or the greatest camera. There are plenty of new cameras, especially from other formats such as the new Sony RX1R Mark III, the new fujifilm cameras such as the XE5, XM5, new Canon cameras, new Nikon cameras, and many people, they don't realize it, but when they see a new camera, their instinct will go, ooh, shiny new objects, I want that one. Yes, I gotta be honest with you, sometimes I got tempted to, ooh, that camera looks really shiny, I want that. But I already used Micro Four Thirds since 2014 for so many different kinds of applications. It's been tried, it's been tested, I know that Micro Four Thirds will work, so Micro Four Thirds kind of reminded me that no, you don't need that new camera, use what you already have and try to maximize their fullest potential. I mean, yeah, my older Micro Four Thirds cameras, they do so really need some updates such as better continuous autofocus, especially for video, and then being able to apply LUT or fancy color profiles when you are shooting videos, or for still photography, some JPEG modes, film simulation, things like that. Yes, but without them, as it is right now, I can still get great results with these cameras. I can still have good shooting experience when I'm out in the field taking pictures with Micro Four Thirds cameras. From my 11 years of experience using Micro Four Thirds camera system, I think this camera system is designed with flexibility in mind. It can do everything. Now, these newer cameras that we see on the market, some of them are more geared toward videos, some are geared more toward content creation, vlogging, and some even only has one single lens that's permanently attached to the camera, making them very limited in terms of flexibility. But when it comes to Micro Four Thirds, you can do basically anything with this camera system, and I truly mean anything. You can do landscape photography, street photography, travel photography, portrait photography, anything that you can think of. You want proof? Please watch my everyday photography vlogs on the card above, where I actually use Micro Four Thirds on the field to actually capture some pictures. Now, Micro Four Thirds might not have the largest sensor in the market, but for me, they produce more than good enough image quality. That is very important. I will share some sample photos right now taken using my Micro Four Thirds cameras and lenses so that you can see for yourself the kind of pictures that you can capture using Micro Four Thirds camera system. But there are always some concerns when it comes to shooting with Micro Four Thirds. First of all, low light performance because of the smaller sensor. Yes, low light performance will be slightly less impressive compared to APS-C or full frame. That's just physics. But from my personal experience and from my real world shooting experience, I am comfortable to shoot with Micro Four Thirds cameras up to ISO 3200. I don't think the noise is terribly offending. They look more like grains, like film grains, so they add into the character of the image, and I'm fine with that. Now, other concern is about megapixel. You know, Micro Four Thirds hasn't reached 30 megapixel yet, while some other cameras are already at 60 megapixel. Well, yes, I think for me, megapixel isn't really the biggest selling point of a camera. I'm an everyday photographer, enthusiast photographer. Sometimes I do small prints, but most of the time I share my pictures digitally. So 20 megapixel, 16 megapixel, even 12 megapixel is more than enough for me. But yeah, hopefully these sample photos can convince you that megapixel isn't everything. Next concern is about background blur. Yes, with the smaller sensor, you will need more effort to achieve blurry background or better bokeh. But you know, there are plenty of lenses that has larger aperture that will help you to create a blurry background. But for me, a less background blur is actually a little bit of a benefit because for some applications, especially travel photography, street photography, and landscape photography, you want more things in focus, and Micro Four Thirds actually helps you with that. Anyway, if you like the photos that I've shown you or you enjoyed today's video so far, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, like this video, and also to subscribe on this channel. That will really help my channel to grow and help me to make more contents in the future. But now I want to talk about another benefits of using Micro Four Thirds, and that is the lens selection. There are plenty of lenses when it comes to Micro Four Thirds. You want something wide, you want something telephoto, you want small aperture, you want large aperture, you want Panasonic lumix lenses, you want OM system lenses. There are plenty of choices. Sometimes they overlap with each other, and that's just the beauty of Micro Four Thirds. How complete it is when it comes to lens selection. You can have anything, any lens for any application. You want a travel lens? Check. You want a landscape lens? Check. You want a street photography lens? Check. You want a portrait lens? Check. We have everything in Micro Four Thirds ready and available for you. However, I don't want to talk too long about lenses because I already made a video about my favorite lens setup for Micro Four Thirds. You can check out that video right here. I explained my favorite lenses to use with Micro Four Thirds for different kinds of applications. Another reason why I still use Micro Four Thirds camera is because the combinations of the cameras and lenses will usually be smaller and lighter compared to other camera formats. I travel a lot and I want my cameras to be smaller and lighter so that I don't hit the weight limit when I'm traveling internationally with airplanes. You have that 7 kilogram weight restriction, and with Micro Four Thirds, it's easy to avoid that limit. But even if you're not traveling, there are actually lots of benefits of why you want a smaller and lighter cameras and lenses. For example, with smaller and lighter cameras, they'll be easier to carry around for everyday photography, and when something is easier to carry around, you'll end up bringing it more often outside to take pictures, and when you take pictures more often, you'll get better pictures. It's just like sports. You're doing repetition, you're doing exercise, you start to build your muscle and you become better at that particular sport. Same thing with photography. You take pictures more often because your cameras and lenses are smaller, then you'll get better pictures. You'll improve as a photographer. Last but not least, I want something fun, inspiring, and joyful to shoot with. Don't get me wrong, modern cameras are great. They have really fast performance, they have great image quality, they have better low light performance, they have this and that. But sometimes modern cameras can feel too clinical, like they are just sterile, they're just tools for capturing photos, they're not inspiring. It's a different story with Micro Four Thirds. I think they are intuitive to use, they are fun to shoot, and almost to the point where they are addicting, makes you not want to stop taking pictures. I think this is because of a few reasons. First of all, it's because of the dial, buttons placement. I think they are just so logical, they make a lot of sense. Over here I have a smaller Micro Four Thirds camera. This is the Panasonic Lumix GF9, or also known as the GX850. When you hold the camera, your hand naturally goes like this, as you can see, and your index finger is on the right place. It's on the shutter button and also the on off dial, and then your thumb is resting right here, and right there we have some buttons underneath of the thumb rest. We have the control wheel to change the shutter speed and the aperture. You have the gallery buttons, quick access menu button, and also display button. Like, those are all the buttons that you need to access frequently, and that means I can easily operate this camera one-handed. That's just so intuitive. Also, autofocus with this camera is so great. Not just this camera, but other Micro Four Thirds cameras as well. Well, maybe the continuous autofocus isn't really that great. You need a newer Micro Four Thirds cameras for that. The GH7 or the G9 Mark II or OM1 or OM5, they will provide you with better continuous autofocus. But single autofocus, it's bam, 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 so fast, so precise, you can just literally capture anything in a matter of milliseconds. That's just how fast and how accurate the single autofocus on Micro Four Thirds cameras. And then also fast boot time. That is something that's very underrated when it comes to Micro Four Thirds camera. I have a Sony ZV-E10 that's currently recording this video right now. I love this camera, but when it comes to the boot time of this camera, it's just too slow. When I was walking around, turning on the camera and trying to capture some photos, it takes a good few seconds until the camera is ready to focus and capture that moment. With Micro Four Thirds camera, it's just so instantaneous. I can just turn it on right now and bam, I already got the picture. Also, besides the performance of these cameras and also the buttons and menu, there are some things that I cannot really explain when it comes to these Micro Four Thirds cameras, especially my Panasonic Lumix cameras. Also my older Olympus EPL6, they have that mojo that I cannot describe, something that draws me to them, that makes me want to pick up these cameras and keep taking pictures. Well, that's the kind of thing that is not really quantifiable. You have to experience it for yourself to understand what I mean. But yeah, that's what makes Micro Four Thirds so inspiring and so fun and enjoyable to shoot with. And that wraps up today's video. So that is my reasons why I still love to use Micro Four Thirds camera today. But enough about me. I wanna hear more from you guys. What camera system are you guys using right now, and why do you still love to use it? Please comment down below. I'd love to learn more from you guys. Maybe it's Micro Four Thirds, maybe it's APS-C, maybe it's full frame. Let's share stories and learn from one another. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like, to share my videos, and to subscribe to my channel down below. If you want to support my channel even further, consider using the affiliate links, using the super thanks button, purchase my travel photography ebook on the description, or join my Patreon membership. Once again, this is the link. It's patreon.com/Gary_W. Thank you, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.